Good morning, Darren Daily community. Producer Mariana here. If you were here with us on Darren Daily yesterday, and I sure hope you were, you saw a special episode where we got to go one-on-one with Darren. It was an excerpt from a private interview with Darren. I have another one for you today because this one really felt like a continuation of yesterday's mentoring session, and I wanted you to get the full impact of what Darren was talking about. So here we go. This is the question that Darren was asked in today's episode. Your A-team is made up of 20 to 25 great employees, many of whom don't work with you in the office. How do you establish a vision, set expectations, and create a positive culture with a smaller workforce? Let's hear what Darren had to say.
Yeah, the size of the organization is not a factor, except for one difference, and that is knowing that your culture, if it's large, has microclimates in it. So you have micro cultures inside a larger culture. You can establish a mission, a core value for and behavior standards at large, but inside the little fiefdoms, it's just like the United States is one general nation, but then you've got all these microcultures. That is New Jersey, that is Miami, that is Austin, that is Seattle, and they're all different in and of themselves, although yet they all share some sort of a similarity as American citizens. That's happening in a large culture of an organization, as well as that you might have an overall ethos, but then you're going to have these microclimates. So there's a couple of important distinctions about the idea of shaping culture, right? Because you don't actually shape or create culture. Culture ends up becoming the personality expression of the people within the culture, right? So that's all it really is an expression of the people who reside in the organization. So the only way you can actually shape or create culture is to have be really cognizant about who you recruit and put into the culture, because it's going to take on that personality expression. No matter what it is that you try to force on people, you'll be trying to force square pegs into round holes. So the success of a culture, the one that you deem successful, 99% of it has to do with recruiting, and then it's just perpetuating and amplifying and reminding the behaviors and attitudes and the philosophies and mindset that should already be inbred in that person based on the great selection you made about the person you chose to put into your organization and the person that you chose to not put in your organization to disrupt that climate. And understand that these microclimates, people mimic the environmental influence, the leadership influence. And so you can have a large organization. You probably experienced that at AE because you guys have a large organization where the company could be doing great, but then you can have one or two departments that are really there's big attrition, there's infighting, there's political warfare, and so forth. You're like, how's that possible? We got this great culture that everybody is loving. Well, it will happen that whoever is the alpha of that small little tribe, whoever's the leader there, I guarantee you there is, the fish rots from the head down. There is a leader that is disrupting and affecting that microclimate. And even if it's not them per se, it is what they're allowing to be tolerated, or the lack of courage they have with holding the standard and those tougher, difficult conversations. So you got to be, as an overall arching leader, you got to be super cognizant of the culture that you have on the whole. And then you got to inspect what you expect around to be sure that your leaders in those positions are also demonstrating the character attributes that you want personified as part of your character, because it can go askew based on the leadership impact. Because in your organization, there's a lot of people there that probably don't interact with you and Dave on a regular basis, but they do interact with their department leader, and so that department leader actually has more effect on shaping them and their performance than you and Dave do. And so if you want to keep overall holistic standard of the culture, then you got to be cognizant of what you are setting as a standard in totality. But that's not enough. Now you got to inspect what you expect about who are the alphas within those microclimate environments, and if they're parroting the right behavior, then that culture will be taken care of.